Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, November the 17th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and you are with DFS Coach Talk live. We have the NBA podcast today. I believe that Crash will be jumping in here at some point. I think he got tied up a bit before he was able to jump on. So we'll add him to the mix here as soon as he is available. So want to say hello to everybody out there. The podcast today is in front of the paywall. So great to see some of our regulars in here. I always miss doing the podcast when we're just members only. Not that I don't love our members. Of course I do. But just miss some of the comments and added information we get from the entire gang here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this in front of the paywall tonight. Only a 3-game schedule. Weird one, too. 3 late games. I don't know if I remember ever seeing that before. And not the first game is at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So that is really weird. And then tomorrow, Deb and I have a giant Friday slate. We're going to do that one for everybody in front of the paywall as well. Saturday, Crash and I will be on together. We'll do a 2 brains or better. We have a full schedule for Saturday night. And then Sunday is going to be for members only all day. So we will have both the podcast in the morning at 10:30 with Crash and Steven doing the NFL. And then I will be on there in the afternoon for the NBA slate that takes place Sunday night. So if you would like to become a Coach Talk member, I would strongly encourage you to do so. Go to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up right there. Try us out for at least a week. If you're a listener that jumps in here a lot and enjoys our podcasts, then give us a run. 1 week is only $9. That's it. And you're going to get not only our members only podcasts, but all of our content information. And then a very, very valuable piece, our man Boy from Cali, who's part of the team here as well. I think he'll be jumping in here. I think he was out shoveling, of which I need to do some myself. But he is putting up the lineups for us as far as projected ownership for all of the major sports that we cover. So that projected ownership alone is worth way more than the price of admission to become a member. Oh, there he is. Crash.
A new challenger has joined you. Yes.
Yeah. Good to see you jumping in. I wanted to go ahead and get everybody rolling here because, I got a lot of stuff to cover, so I figured you'd dive in. So welcome to the family. Oh, he's got the official Thursday Night Football Packers Cup out. So good stuff, man. I was just telling everybody we're going to do we'll have an NFL podcast tonight. I'm going to jump on with you guys because there's no basketball till 10 o'clock. So I'll be twiddling my thumbs. So you and I and Steven will be on there at our regular time, 7:10, because we figured we were going to move that, and we will in the future to 6:50. So we're not interrupting that close lock time of the NBA. But with the 10 o'clocker, we're going to do the regular 7:10 tonight. Right. And then in front of the paywall, Deb and I Friday for NBA. And then Saturday, Crash and I with the 2 brains that day. And then Sunday's the members only day, as I mentioned. So we've got Crash and Steven in the morning, and then I have got the afternoon. So interesting tonight, Crash. Lots of football watching will be going on until that NBA tip. And maybe for some of you guys, the Packers fans out there and etc., that may continue to watch it. But 10 o'clock, we're going to get the tip for basketball. So it's really weird. Do you remember that ever happening since we've been doing these podcasts?
No, it's like an after-hour slate, and they forgot the rest of the slate.
Yeah. After hours is the slate, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Very weird. But 10 and 10:30 are those games, so we'll be catching those for sure.
And you know what's
So,
weird, Coach, is so not only does it start later, and you would think, okay, well, maybe they're trying to push, the football game, whatever, people watch that. Well, if they were, then you're going to be talking about them joining in the middle of the game. And then the other thing is they don't have like a TV broadcast game tonight. They're not on, any of them are on national TV. So I don't know what preempted that, but it's pretty interesting.
Makes absolutely no sense. Maybe just an anomaly in the schedule. Who knows? But it is a weird one for sure. But anyway, today we have plenty of time, so we're going to go into these 3 games. We're going to slice and dice them up. We'll talk about all of our normal stuff, pay up and value, and certainly fade. We'll talk about defensive efficiency and pace of play, and we'll go into ownership game by game as we go through these games, because that's going to be key. We still have some news. Hopefully some of that breaks. I doubt it because the games are so late. But if we get any news that breaks, I'm sure that the members will jump in here and we'll keep checking that throughout. So should be interesting. It's a fun little 3-gamer. Yahoo was the savior again last night, was able to have a takedown there.
Yeah.
Really, boy, Steph got it done for me. He was,
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, he was a great one. He and SGA alone were just monsters. I think they were like almost 118 combined for guards. You might get that some big guys that are just monster rebounds and everything, but those two were just out of their mind good. It was amazing.
Yeah,
so,
I would have went with Steph instead of DeRozan and some of those plays I had. I probably would have been near a takedown with my lineup because it was like 350 as it was. So
wow.
Yeah.
It was fun, and everybody posted some winners. Bunch of people. Deb did well, and she was at the game, so she got to really enjoy that.
Did she get some TV time? Because David said she looked fabulous in that sweatshirt at the game.
No, she posted a picture in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah, she had the big Coach Talk sweatshirt.
I did not check. I did not see that. I'll have to
it's a great picture. We'll have to post that for sure. But she had the maroon hoodie on and really good seats there, pretty close to the court, sort of on the corner there. So
very nice.
Must have been a fun game to watch.
For sure.
All right, let's say hello to some members and all of the other gang that's in here. Wow, we've got everybody jumping in. We even have a super chat, 25 folks already, and usually it takes a while for everybody to drift in there. And that's impressive considering the game doesn't happen for 6 hours? It is 6 hours and 3 minutes. No, 5 hours and 3 minutes until lock. That's still astounding. So
now, Coach, did you say that we were going to be doing the NFL pod later, even though the NBA slate's not later? Or are we going to do it at the 6:50 time?
7:10. We moved it.
Oh, okay.
Didn't you want to do it later?
No, I was wanting to do it earlier because I haven't.
Oh man, I screwed that up 10 ways from Sunday then.
No, you were wanting to do it later because they were.
Oh yeah, so we're going to do it earlier
because of NBA. Yeah.
Yes. So whatever I said about football, disregard it. As far
as
it's
going to be at 6:50 tonight.
We're doing it at 6:50. No, we're 6:50.
6:50
because the reason we were moving it to 7:10, which we're going to do in the future, because normally the lock time is 7. We were going to do that because we didn't want to bump up against NBA. Lock for the NBA. Yeah. So today we don't have to worry about that with the late ones.
Right.
Everything else stands as is, though. So good stuff. All right. Hello to my friend Katie. How are you doing today, dear? Stacks Money 77 with a slam dunk win being the first one in here. He was in here early in honor of Luca, I believe, as Stacks Money 77. So a runaway winner for first in the pod today. Rodney Pollard, our good friend Rodney. Jugga Kushti in there. How you doing today? Pain Blank SM, also known as the Dead Presidents. Nathan Feudy, of course, king of all trades, always rolling around with the great vibes. Thursday vibes for the slate. Love it. Double D, also known as Disco David Dulac, is in there with us. Great to see Bev in. Bev, we got to get you in there as a member. I would love to see you in there with us. So come and try us out. Boy from Cali must be done shoveling. Great to see you in here, my friend. Great to have you part of the team too. Awesome ad for us. Earl Tyson, how are you, my friend? We need you to be in there as a member. We need some punch, Mike Tyson punches in that group with us. And we're going to do a mixture of members and non-members pods, but we want to build this Coach Talk family up. The people that are really doing great and enjoying the pods. I'd love to have you as part of the family. And it's really affordable. We did lower all the prices across the board when we determined we were going to do some of these pods behind the paywall. We wanted to make sure that it was affordable, for people to join in. So Earl, we would absolutely love to have you at any time at all. JT, Mr. Justin Timberlake, is in the house for sure. No two brains are better than one today, Earl, because we've only got 3 games. So we are going to post, we'll go over everything very in depth though. So you'll have a build for Fanduel ready to roll by the time we're done here. 3 brains are better than 2. We'll have to do that for football someday, just to really dice it up. If I get frosty.
I actually thought about doing that tonight, Coach. We could do on Fanduel, we could do like Steve and I have our 2 plays, and then you have one to kind of as a wild card.
That's fine.
I thought about that. Yeah,
I'll be happy to do that. We could try that. So we definitely, with 3 of us, I think it's probably 3 brains equal 1, but we may have to give that a shot then. Little Monster, how are you, my friend? Great to see you in here. And he's going to be becoming a member soon. That is fantastic news. Can't wait to see you in the chat with us. Love to have you join at any time, Little Monster. No doubt about it. And he is right. Let's get that thumbs up because we've got a lot of people in here, but not a lot of thumbs up yet. So let's do it now and get it over with. And then you got it set. Aaron Sampson, still searching for the P in Sampson, but he is definitely with us. Great to see you tonight, my friend. Doug L. I got to say, man, you are Doug W. in my book. Doug L. with a super chat. No Kids Hungry is the November charity. Everything that goes into the super chat bucket goes to No Kids Hungry. We had Operation Hope last month, and then we have a foundation for pets coming up for December. So all kinds of fun stuff here. Thank you so much for that super chat, Doug L. Hopefully that motivates some other folks to jump in there and also give to such a fine charity. Mr. Michael Perlman, who is going to be a long-time member now. He has upgraded his membership, and we couldn't be happier. Michael Perlman is the man, as they say in the DFS world. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? Crash gets a big wave from Earl Tyson. I think he's giving you the business for being late, but I appreciate that, Earl. Best pay-ups value on Fanduel, Crash. Can you imagine Earl wants a Fanduel play?
Best pay up on. We'll get into that in a minute. Yeah.
We will, even though Earl never plays Fanduel. He plays everything else, but no.
Right.
Nightmare, hello. Let's get you to be a member. We need you in there with us, my friend. I miss you guys so much that when we do the members only, for those that aren't members, we got to get you in there. Definitely. Let's see. What else do we have? Travis Wyndham of the famous Wyndham Hotels chain gracing us with the presence as he's laying on a bed of money right now, I believe. And then, of course, I know people don't like it, but I'm going to sing anyway. Rose Miller is in there with us as always. Octavius Bailey, also known as TA, is it 288? I always miss the number. but another fantastic
388, I
number.
think.
388. I messed it up the other day too.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the discounted version of Mr. Bailey is the 288 version. Garage Junkie Productions, another fantastic person that always reminds us to gently caress the thumbs up button. And I appreciate that because everybody else says to smash it. And we're so cool that we just gently caress that button. So thank you very much, Garage Junkie Productions. What else? Fear Money Entertainment LLC. It's not fearing any money at all. We're just pocketing it and bringing it in. We've been red hot lately, and we're going to continue to do that. Bev's thinking that she might try it out. All right. Let's see. I'll let Boy from Cali know if I do. He's a friend of mine. Well, if you're a friend of Boy from Cali, you're a friend of mine. So definitely, yeah, let Mr. Boy from Cali know, or shoot me a DM, or you can always, if you're not in Discord, which you're not yet, you can always shoot me a note on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. I am eyeballing those all day, every day. So, all right, it's party time in here. I agree. And let's see who put the joke out there. Mr. Wyndham put a joke out. I missed it. Sign up a week tomorrow. I'm broke. Oh no, it can't be broke. Just take a little corporate loan from that hotel chain. You'll be fine. Like the guy did for, you saw that whole shenanigans with the cyber. Who is it? What was the company?
FTX.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a nightmare. Good God.
Yeah, the Miami Heat are dropping them now as a sponsor because of that. So.
Oh, yeah. Unreal. All right. So let's see what else is in there. Just a friendly guy. Gotta love him. He's my brother. David calling out the brother card on Boy from Cali. Looks like he's surpassed me on the David Dulac favoritism list, but that's okay. I'm willing to share the brotherhood here. All right, so we are 17 minutes in and have not talked basketball yet. Somebody is going to kick my ass here, and it's probably going to be this group. So why don't we get into basketball and get this done?
Let's do it.
3 games, crazy late start, and we're going to go over these games so that no one has any confusion of what they're building at the end of this discussion. So, Crash, game number 1. It is 10 p.m. Eastern. The Brooklyn Nets, 6-9. Portland Trailblazers, a very surprising and respectable 10-4. So 10-4, another home game against the reeling joke of a franchise and team and everything else known as the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry if you're a Nets fan, folks. Portland's only a 2.5-point favorite, though. So that line is very confusing to me. So somebody please explain that, because I thought it would be like 6.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've missed a line this much all season. And the over-under in this game is 225.5. No Kyrie Irving for some reason, not sure why, just kidding. And TJ Warren, who's been out since the bubble. Nurkic, who played but in short, weird spurts, like 4 minutes, 3 minutes at the beginning of each quarter. I couldn't figure that out, but he is probable. Then we have Keon Johnson is questionable. And then really an important piece in the rotational and positionality of the Trailblazers tonight, Crash, is Justice Winslow questionable. Obviously, I guess we're going to, being the early game on the slate at 10 o'clock, I mean, we'll get news at 9:30, I guess, before lock or before.
Right.
So
yeah, you
very
have to
strange.
keep me updated on that, because I'll be invested in that game. I'm probably not going to be paying too much attention to the NBA news.
Oh, the Packers will be down 3 scores at that point. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
I can say that since they beat the Cowboys in some hilariously depressing, insane, psychotic way last week that doesn't make sense and broke a 158 game streak. But I'm not bitter about that at all.
Right.
Anyway, so Peyton and Sar are out. I know David had those two on his initial build, Peyton and Sar. So, David, you got to get those guys out of there, messing with you again. Let's see what we're going to do with this game, man. How about the fact that Brooklyn is 13th in pace and Portland 19th? So that combination doesn't do much for me. Brooklyn 15th defensively, which considering they're 3 games under 500 isn't that bad. Portland, again, we've talked about it multiple days in a row. 6th in team defensive efficiency. The Jeremy Grant, I guess, Josh Hart factor, being full tilt with the team. I guess that's what does it. But man, they are playing some good ball, some great coaching. Very impressed there. As far as ownership crash, I'm going to give you all the tools you need. So when you break this down, you've got all the information. Okay. So we talk about this game. Is it going to be popular on this slate? That is the initial question here. I'm going to update it so we get the most up-to-date information. So it takes a second, but because these things are going to be changing and we've got this weird lock time, I want to make sure we have everything. All right, right now on DraftKings, the highest owned projected player is Nicholas Claxton at 31%, and that's because he's only $5,500. So how about the fact, did you watch the last game? Did you see who played minutes at center for them?
When they got dusted by Sacramento?
Yeah. Ben Simmons.
Ridiculous. Ben Simmons was playing.
Ben Simmons at the 5.
Yeah. I know. It's ridiculous.
And I think he's probably going to play more 5 because, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Talk about 1 through 5, though. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm not really on Claxton. That's really interesting.
Yeah, he's getting a ton of ownership. And, he's never a monster minutes guy either, to be honest with you. So I think that's a little scary. Then you have this dilemma. I can't wait to get your input on this. $11,600 Kevin Durant, 25.6%. And then, so my question to you is this, before you break this game down, how is his team going to react? There's 2 things that could happen. First of all, the players could be pissed at him. If you missed it, by the way, he made comments yesterday where he literally said it. How do you expect me to win games when it's me and a bunch of guys that aren't any good? And he named the guys. Unbelievable. So are they going to freeze him out? Are they not going to give him the ball? Or is he going to say F you and take every shot? What do you think is going to happen with KD?
It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. I don't know. This game's weird to me. This whole slate's weird in a lot of ways, but I'm not really. I think I'd rather pay for $10K for Damian Lillard than almost 12 for Kevin Durant. To me, paying up like that really hasn't worked out very much at all on DraftKings because of the pricing. Like on Fanduel, you can get 2 of those kind of price guys, but I had Giannis last night. Obviously, that was a letdown. It's just, if that happens, you're kind of dead, kind of dead in the water. So I'm not really looking to go to Kevin Durant tonight.
Yeah. Kevin Durant is such an anomaly to all reality of basketball. First of all, the fact that he's playing and still at this level at his age, the fact that he never gets tired. The guy never seems to sweat. He just plays whatever minutes, however many games. It's odd. So normally, being the mentality of a coach and the team and everything, I would think, his comments are a huge deterrent here. But I don't think it is. I really don't. I think if anything, he's going to say, like, you know what? I'm going to prove it to you guys that you all suck and I'm really good. I'm the best player maybe in history, and I'm going to drop another 40 or 50 real points and just, back up what I said that you guess all suck. Now,
I get that, but I kind of feel too that Jeremy Grant's a pretty good defender for, to match up with him. Pretty athletic, pretty similar size. I don't know. I I kind of think that fading Durant's the way to go in this slate, but that's just my initial thought.
You know what? I just made that statement about Durant, and I do believe he's going to come out and try to score it. But I'm with you on a couple of reasons here on Durant. Number one, the ownership is very high. The price is very high. Portland's playing really well. It's at Portland. Grant is a plus defender. All of those reasons make it seem a bit risky to go to KD.
Yeah.
I just wanted to plant that seed that if anybody can say F you to the rest of the guys and drop a 50 real point night, it is KD. So something to keep in mind anyway.
But at the same time, what happens if they do that and then the rest of the guys are like, we're not even going to try tonight. We're just going to show you that you need us, and then they get blown out. And then, I mean, if you've got last game. And if I'm one of those guys, I mean, I'm sorry, but if I've got the ball and I got KD and whatever, Joe Harris, I would go to Joe Harris if he's open. I mean, I know it sounds nuts, but those guys all have big egos. They're great. You're starting in the NBA. You're phenomenal. I mean, you're one of the best players in the world. So I think you got to take some of that, and Boy from Cali's saying what I'm saying. He's probably going to chuck and duck trying to make his statement stand. But all the other factors, I'm with you. I am not going to go KD today. I don't give a damn. I think some of that has to slide in. Now, if he was 9-6, I would, but 11-6 is a number, man. And you see the newest projections?
He's
that? The highest projected owned on Fanduel and Yahoo.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna because I was gonna look at those two. Let me finish Draftkings right now. See, everybody's going with that theory too, as like I had mentioned a Boy from Cali, but I think there's more to it, man. So other than that, you've got the Royce O'Neal fiasco again. I faded him like crazy. I said it. He was awful, in my opinion. And he's 25% owned again, Crash.
Yeah, I know.
Is it because he's getting monster minutes and he's 5,300, I guess?
Maybe. But, I mean, so is Seth Curry, and he's cheaper. I mean, he's 1,000 cheaper. I don't know. I like Seth Curry more. He's probably the one player on the Nets that I do like. You have the revenge narrative, too. He spent some time in Portland.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's only $11 on Yahoo. He's 4,700 on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. So the Seth Curry play is my play from Brooklyn, and I don't really like anyone else, honestly.
Super.
If you're not going to
value.
Durant, if you're not going to Durant, then I'm not chasing Royce O'Neal and those kind of plays.
I don't want that at all.
Joe Harris.
There's more strong ownership. Jeremy Grant at 20%, Josh Hart at 19%. Anthony Simons at 17. So there's a lot of ownership for this game. I mean, you've got 3 games, so you're going to get more than normal.
For sure.
All the way down to Dame, though, 16% at 10K flat. So I thought that was interesting. I'll share FanDuel, like you said. KD, number 1 owned at 11.5, 45%. I think that's pretty amazing. Josh Hart, 30%. At 5,900, Royce O'Neal, 29%. Why does DFS love Royce O'Neal so much? I don't agree.
I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I like the second player. I like Darren Fox. He's right below him, but
right. Interesting. Joe Harris, 21% at 3,800. He's still waiting for the big game here. Jeremy Grant, who's Alexa, shut off the timer. Sorry about that. Extra timers going off, everything going on. But Jeremy Grant, 20%. He's still getting a lot of action. Simons also at 19% on FanDuel. On Yahoo, Kevin Durant, a cool $50, 55%. So obviously everybody is saying you can't have the optimal lineup tonight on a 3-game slate without KD. I don't know, man. We're going to see what we can build here.
I think I can get 2 or 3 studs, whereas when I get Durant in my lineup, I'm starting to get to the dumpster diving, So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call. Dame Lillard, $37, 36%. Grant, again, only $26, which is really value for Yahoo. 35%, though, you got to eat some chalk there. Josh Hart, $23 is 20%. And Nicholas Claxton, again, $20, 20%. So very, very interesting, and obviously going to be key to the entire slate. Right off the bat is KD or no KD, and it sounds like most people are going KD. Before you say anything, though, Crash, because I want to turn it over to you to break this game down, because I've done 30 minutes of talking already. Let's see. We have a bunch of other people that jumped in, and we have a nice big group in here. Sean V, man, we have been missing you. Where have you been? Come and join us every day, at least for a few minutes. We need some goats in here like you.
$750, Sean V. Way to go, man.
All right. Yeah, he's always on fire, that dude. No doubt about it. RJ, love you, man. He's in here with us. He wants to know what we think about Clay tonight, so we can get into that for sure.
Clay, what?
Mac, huh?
Not Clay.
Isn't that what he said? Did I
Warriors aren't playing tonight.
Let's see who he's talking about here. Unless I've lost my marbles. I thought I read that. Where are we at? I lost my place in chat because I'm trying to say hello to King of Smack.
RJ says, I think they do the Clay and play well tonight. He's talking about.
Oh, gotcha. RJ, man, I know, an old guy like this, I get confused with things like that. So I think they do the Clay and play well tonight. Okay. Are you wrapping your arms around that, or do we need more info from RJ?
I'm trying to figure that out because Clay didn't. Well, I guess when Clay was called out by his teammates.
Oh, gotcha. Barkley called out Clay.
Yeah.
And then Clay had that one big game.
Right. I don't think the Nets are going to do that.
Well, nobody called out KD. KD called out everybody else. So, yeah, it's a little interesting. So I get it. All right, back on track here. Sean V, King of Smack, love you. Doug L, we've already said hello to you. Harry Styles in the building.
Nice.
I saw him on Howard Stern the other day, singing an old tune. Old tune. Yeah, he's a talented young man. Yami Styles, you're just as cool or cooler than Harry Styles. So how's it going, Coach? I've been running cash big with SGA and Bowl last night. Congratulations, man. I love it. Keep running hot.
Two of our key plays yesterday.
Yes, keep running hot. Love it. Lillard and Simmons are good plays. Nets ranked 28th, 30th in opponent 3-point field goal percentage. That is true. They're in the middle of the pack overall defensively, but they do not defend the 3-point line well. So good call out there. Sean V's missing the MLB, but you got all this big money you're making in basketball, man. You DFS goats like you could play any sport. CMO 614, also one of my favorites. We need you as a member. I want
Coach, sit up straight. Your mom just entered the chat. So.
Oh crap! Now I'm in deep trouble. That's what happens when you go in front of the paywall. Then you get Coach Mom sliding in there, giving you trouble. Oh man. Emerson Baby Gap shirt. Boom shakalaka. One of my favorite comments. Let's get this done. This is awesome. KJ, what's that even mean? Clay not playing. Yeah, so I think we get it. So I believe he meant the Clay thing by like the Durant thing. So we have talked about that a little bit. Hello, cool sports mother. Appreciate your entrance to keep an eye on everything. Believe we have a new person in here, Crash.
Tyler Sappington.
Yes. Tyler Winnington.
I think Seth Curry is going to have a nice game tonight, so I agree with that.
Okay. I think we nickname him Tyler Winnington because And we need you back here with us every day, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, by the way, Coach Mom was loving whoever called her Queen Dracula when we were, she loved that, by the way. So that could be her new nickname.
Nice.
Let's see. Bucks Cleveland blowouts was unexpected. Yes. Bucks, man, they are no joke. Although, did you see Mr. Giannis get dunked on?
Never happened.
You didn't see that?
No, I saw it. Yeah.
It was a poster.
Yeah, I saw it. I think he's tired. I think he's tired right now. I mean, he's having to carry the team because they have so many guys out. I mean, it's crazy that they're 11-3, but I mean, they've had, honestly, you could look at some of the nights and they've probably had a starting lineup on the bench. So,
oh, they've been just getting killed with the injuries, no doubt. Yeah. I'm multitasking here. So, anybody else we need to say hello to? Crash?
I think we got it. I think we're ready to move on to that San Antonio Sacramento game. Well, first of all, on the Portland side, because I didn't really cover that, I like Dame. I like Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant's just playing out of his mind lately. But he is 8,400 now on Fanduel, so I don't like
his
that.
price is through the roof, though.
Yeah. He's 76 on Draftkings and only 26 on Yahoo, so still solid over there. Simons I like a little bit, but maybe not as much as some people. And I still think Drew Eubanks is in play because I don't think Nurkic is anywhere near healthy right now. So
not at all.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, it's an interesting game here. The big decisions with KD, I just don't like I don't agree with the big ownership on Claxton. So that's a fade situation for me.
Yeah.
The funny thing about KD is he is right, though. The rest of that team sucks.
Right. No, it's true. I mean, it is true. There's not a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah. I don't trust Curry's minutes. I know a lot of you guys are getting on him and our new man winning tendings on him too, but I don't know. I got to see it first because he can have some floor games if he's not dropping a few threes.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Eubanks is around 1% or lower. So I like that.
Yeah, but I know Nurk played super short spurts.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know it's a 3-gamer, so you can get away with some of those guys like that, but I don't know.
You can get us 18 at 3,900 or hardly even that on Yahoo at $10. It makes some sense to make some lineups work, but
it does.
Let's go ahead and go on to the next one.
We can. I do like Josh Hart, by the way. 6'5".
Yeah, Josh Hart. Yeah.
I like him. And these 3 games are all in their own class too. This game's 222.5. The next game we're going to talk about is by far the winner at 236. And then we have the clinker at the end of the night at 217. So,
do you like anybody from Brooklyn or no?
I haven't made my final complete decision on fading Durant. I keep wanting to say, yes, I'm 100% fading him. And then I keep changing my mind because my concern is he does have that FU game and drops 70 some fantasy points. And I don't know where you're going to catch up because we don't even know if Paul George is playing.
Yeah.
And, then it's like, we don't have any other big studs really going.
Have to get it from 2 guys. See, what I'm thinking is like, if a lot of people, which it looks like they're doing this, they're playing Kevin Durant and Terrence Davis. Well, if Davis flops and then I can get 90 between 2 guys, I mean, I'll be ahead of the curve. So I don't know.
I could say this. Terrence Davis is a ridiculous overreaction to one game that he got in a lot of extra minutes unexpectedly because the rookie got hurt in front of him. But man, why chase points immediately like that? I don't know. I don't like it. Jay Blazing, I love you, man. Glad you're in here with us. Thanks for joining the group. Ton of people in here. Hit the thumbs up. All right, we're going to go to game 2. And then we're going to go through this a little bit. Yes, Eubanks outplayed Nurk, but Nurk was playing in spurts. Maybe he gets more minutes tonight. And then you're sort of screwed both directions. So I'm not touching that whole fiasco, by the way. I'm not going Nurk or
you guys want to have Eubanks, I'll have him in my lineup, so you don't have to worry about that.
Not me. All right. San Antonio Spurs 6-9, Sacramento 7-6. Break up the Sacramento Kings, man. You've got Sacramento, a big favorite here, 7.5. That monster 236.5 line on the total. And as far as injuries in this game, Keldon Johnson, massively important. He's questionable. And it's Pop, so you never know what the hell's going to happen there.
I hate that.
So that, I would steer clear of it for now, but it does affect usage and rotation situations with San Antonio. So we do need it. McDermott, questionable. Branham, Collins, Langford, Wesley out. And then Keegan Murray's not going to play. It says doubtful here. He ain't playing, man. It's that simple.
Right.
But that doesn't mean plug and play Terrence Davis. I know he had a great game. I know he's explosive, but still have, you still don't know exactly how many minutes he's going to get. And, we'll see what happens there. Here's the thing, Crash. Only 6 teams playing. The San Antonio Spurs are playing with the fastest pace in the league.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Pop's never had a team fastest pace.
Yeah.
Sacramento's third. And then you have 2 horrific defenses. 26 for Sacramento, 28 for San Antonio. So here, I've got one question for you, and feel free, chat, to jump in here as well. How many guys from this game are too many guys? Because I keep wanting to play 6 of my 8 guys from this game. Am I overdoing it?
It's a lot. I kind of like these last 2 games the most, but I don't know if I'd go 6 deep in this game. For me, I like Pirtle. He had a really big game last time, but he's had some decent games against Sacramento. His price has definitely gone up, though. He's $7,200 on Draftkings, $7,800 on Fanduel, still only $28 on Yahoo, so solid pricing there. Trey Jones, I think, is in play. And then on the Sacramento side, I think you could play, if not both, you could play one of Sabonis or Fox. And then Kevin Huerter's still playing really good basketball. So those would be the ones for me in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, and you guys know, for the listen every day, I never go more than 2 on stacks in NBA. But we're looking at 3 games. So there's factor number 1. We're looking at the fact that you've got a total in this game and the scenario with pace and defense and everything else that are just off the charts. So, when I make an exception to go from 2 to 3, and I say this all the time, I'm not just bringing this up now. You've heard me say it probably 15 times. This seems like the spot to me, man. I am on this game like nobody's business. I think Trey Jones is a great play. Yeah. I like Devin Vassell if Keldon Johnson sits. The rookie Jeremy Sokan's not a bad play. I think Pirtle is a solid play. So there's lots of spots you can go, Spurs-wise. Sacramento, Huerter has been really good value for me all season. And his price starting to drift, but still really good. Fox and Sabonis has to be in the first breath of discussion for rostering guys. Their usage numbers are there. Their production is there. They're going against a San Antonio team that not only is 28th in defense, but they've been 30th in defense for the last 3 weeks. They're plummeting defensively. So the speed, you can't get a better pace-up game from third to first.
True.
So, I mean, there's just so many reasons I want, like, Fox, Huerter, and Sabonis. Or plus, you get Keegan Murray out of the mix, and everybody's going to go, crazy with Terrence Davis and all this stuff. So I think you have almost a little fake chalk there on top of everything else. So let's look at ownership real quick on this game, because that'll help me in my big build. And I may end up with 5 guys here, not 6, but I'm very tempted. All right, Terrence Davis is the new number 1 owned guy on DraftKings, Crash.
I know, I saw that.
He's 44% owned at 4,300. I'm not going to do it. So my fade today is Terrence Davis. My contrarian play is Terrence Davis not playing him. I think he's going to disappoint at massive ownership.
So my fade is Kevin Durant. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Second, third, and fourth are all from this game. De'Aaron Fox, 37%. I think it's a great play. Sabonis, 9,400, 36%. I think it's a great play. Keldon Johnson, though, is questionable. So why is he coming in fourth highest owned if he's questionable here? Pop's not a guy to push guys when they're hurt either.
Right.
So I am not going to be there. Nicholas Claxton, again, I think he's over-owned here at 31%. 5,500 is too cheap for a guy that's starting. But remember, Simmons is going to get some rotation at center, as weird as that is. We've got to discuss it. KD, 26%. I'm on the fence. You're off KD.
Yeah.
And Royce O'Neal at 24. So things are shifting, and they will continue to shift as we get closer to this 10 p.m. lock out of nowhere. Movers on FanDuel, Fox. Well, Durant's number one still. But then you've got Fox, Davis, Sabonis are up there. Keldon Johnson. So some of the touts out there, some of the shows must be really backing Keldon Johnson. Usually that moves the needle on him. And then the Trey Jones, Devin Vassell aspect of things are right there as well. On Yahoo, Crash, it looks as though we've got Fox at 43% and Sabonis 42%. Go ahead, boy from Cali. You can post the coach eating the chalk sideline soccer picture because I like those guys, man. I think they're great plays, and I think that they're priced right. I know it sounds a lot, but 38 and 37 bucks on Yahoo is too cheap for those guys with the way and that they're playing and the matchup that they're dealing with here. You've got Keldon Johnson, 29%, Vassell, 28. No reason to play both. That's for sure, in my opinion. Your man Jakob Poeltl, 25%. And I did say he was your favorite player in basketball on the podcast yesterday, and you followed up by playing him today. I love it. Trey Jones, I always go to the Trey Jones. Well, 21 bucks, 25% seems like the right number to me. So that's what we have. Give us more input on this 236 total, 114 applied for San Antonio, and $1.22 for Sacramento.
Yeah, I like right now I'm contemplating going somewhere between Fox and Sabonis or Fox and Lillard for my pay up options. So that's kind of what I'm building around. So I'm not going with, Kevin Durant and Terrence Davis or whatever. To me, like you said, it's just chasing that big game. And he's just inevitably due for a regression game after, what Terrence Davis did last time. So I think those two can outscore the other two. But as far as this game goes, I mean, I think all the plays you mentioned are in play. I didn't really have any issues with anyone you mentioned. The only one I'm maybe not as high on as you is Sochan. But yeah, outside of that, we're pretty much lockstep on this game. So I just don't know if I'm going to have 6 guys. I'm probably going to have more like 3 or 4, but it's still a key game for sure.
Somebody posted in here that Keldon Johnson is now doubtful, that Mr. Harry Styles stepped up for us.
I haven't seen that anywhere. Let me see something.
I believe in Mr. Styles. That makes Devin Vassell more playable to me, and definitely now pretty lock button on Trey Jones. At that price. Somebody's gonna have to chuck and duck it.
Keldon Johnson.
Who will fill in for Johnson? Well, I think you're just going to get a lot more usage for some of the other guys that are in there.
He's questionable, not doubtful.
All right. Mr. Styles, did you get more info, or is that an assumption?
Has he got Pop on his contacts list, or what's the deal here?
We'll have to see. Maybe he was at one of his concerts. And share the info. Fox and Lillard together, Jay's asking on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
I mean, if you're fading Durant, you can certainly do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaning more as every minute passes. I'm leaning more to get sucked back into the KD train here. I feel myself edging to the KD side because he's just such a damn stud. And
yeah, but I mean, if okay, so what if you play Fox and Lillard and they get you 120, and you play Durant and Terrence Davis and they get you, you know, I mean, I don't know. Like,
I'm not playing Terrence Davis though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
whoever the guy would be, are they going to be able to get 120 with Durant?
Right.
You know,
That's a good question. And that's certainly the way you have to look at it, and combine the prices and see where you're at though, because I may actually be less with KD and a value dude than you are with Fox and Lillard. So
yeah.
I mean, and probably both lineups could end up with the same totals too. I mean, it happens. There's no doubt about it. We don't know if
my salary is a little off there, but the point is that whoever you play with Durant, he's going to have to score, enough to make up for two guys that can score 50 to 60 versus just the one guy with Durant. So
I agree. Shout out to Juggakushti because you beat me to the comment. I agree 100%. I think the biggest beneficiary, other than the guys that are already in the lineup that I'm thinking are going to get some more usage now that Johnson may not play. If he doesn't, Keita Bates-Diop is probably the guy. He's played some good minutes. The only thing is it's pop, and you always have to be fearful that he jacks guys around from 34 to 14 minutes in a heartbeat. But I think Keita Bates-Diop has some game. I liked when he was with the T-Wolves. I think he never really has gotten a shot. And if you get over 30 minutes from him, he could be a super steal as a really good value play. So definitely another spot. If I do go 3 deep on the Spurs, I'm not counting Diop out as my third guy in. Again, it's a 3-game slate. We're going to not need 435 points like we've needed lately. Don't play McDermott regardless, man. Please, just don't do it.
Yeah. Although last time you said that, Deb wanted to play him, and then he ended up having a decent game. But
yeah, it wasn't a slate breaker. He doesn't have the capacity to be a slate breaker. So take that, Mr. McDermott. That's what I have to say. King of Smack, what's he talking about? Is he talking smack here? What's he got? Sack in Detroit and LA Clippers of games, fade Brooklyn game, just 1-2, maybe some other price guys to blow out potential. So you think the Nets are going to get blown out? They could. I mean, they're an absolute shitstorm of disaster, and Portland's playing great ball. So that's a great. I mean, you can game theory that, but why?
And that's another reason, Coach, that I like Eubanks, because I think that if it gets out of hand, that he's going to be getting a lot of minutes. So.
Dude, the spread's 2.5. When is Vegas that wrong? It's 2.5.
I mean, what was the spread the other night? And they got.
By the way, I did call the Houston Rockets on the money line as a 6.5-point dog. I told you guys. I hope somebody bet it.
Yeah.
I hope somebody bet it. But anyway, I have a hard time thinking that game's going to blow out just because I respect Vegas that much. And if it goes south for them and they lose by a dozen, that's not a blowout. They're going to still have their dudes in there. So
what was the line on Monday? Do you know? Or Tuesday, whatever day that was, when they played Sacramento and got blown off the floor?
I'm not sure what that number is. Maybe somebody
I guarantee it was probably close to 2.5.
Yeah, I'm sure it was similar type scenario. So, I mean, Vegas can be wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. Trey Lyles, I don't know. Mr. Sappington, great to have you back in here with us, my friend. Yeah, Trey Lyles, but there again, it's pop. So any of that's possible. I mean, how many times last year, Crash, did Trey Lyles get 30 minutes? And we said, okay, let's roll him out there. And he got 8.
Well, and the thing is I was watching that game and I was like, man, Trey Lyles is having an awesome game. I look at the box score. He's got 17 fantasy points.
Exactly.
Nothing,
No. So, it's all relative. He may do an all right job when he gets out there, but, is he going to stack up those numbers? So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes Jop, I don't feel as comfortable rolling him out there because you never know what Pop's going to do. But I still think he's a good value play. If Keldon doesn't play, all of that is moot if somehow Johnson ends up getting into the mix here.
Playing. Yeah.
Okay, we have one game left. That's it, man. It's 10:30 game, so we only have to wait 30 minutes. It's the Detroit Pistons, 3-12 against the LA Clippers, 8-7. And I'm not sure how you figure out this damn game unless we know Paul George is playing or not. Everything I've seen, I believe he's like 50-50. I have no feel if he's in or out. Do you?
No, none.
Yeah, that's not good. Detroit's on the first night of a back-to-back. Again, I don't know how much that matters with Detroit since they're all like 17 years old. But,
yeah.
You've got Isaiah Stewart with a really bad toe. He's out for a couple of weeks. So that's where we got to start discussing. Is it, as they say, Marvin Bagley season, or does the rookie Durant take a bigger role, or did they eliminate each other with a split minutes? That's what we got to figure out here. Other than Paul George, I have Kawhi Leonard on here listed as questionable. He's not playing, is he?
I don't think so.
I hope not. And Luke Kennard is out. So what a confusing game trying to figure that one out. But
that would really mess up some stuff if Kawhi played.
Oh my God. Detroit's 5th in pace, so good pace up. Clippers playing decently fast at 12th. Detroit's still dead last in defense in the entire league, so that helps the Clippers. That's the game that could blow out, though. No Cade Cunningham again. Detroit on a road trip with a bunch of young guys. They're in L.A. I don't think they've lived it up a little in L.A. That's the game that I'm fearful of a blowout in. Clippers, by the way, Crash, are all the way up to 2nd in the league defensively, and Kawhi hasn't even contributed. So what the hell are they going to be once he's in there and playing at full strength? They're going to be really tough.
They are.
I like Duran. It's hard to pronounce his name.
Jalen Duran.
Duran, it's Duran, but I like him, and he's a guy that can throw 5-6 blocks on the board too. But I do think he's going to split the game with Bagley, so that concerns me. Hey, we have over 70 people in here. It's a nice group.
Nice.
Hit that thumbs up, guys. Norman Powell is the guy that I like too. It is a Norman Powell night to me. I think he's in a great spot here. Deb is probably getting all worked up because Norman Powell has sunk our ship a few times. But, man, it seems to make sense. If Kawhi sits, PG sits, if those guys sit both, then we have a whole different conversation. So I don't know how we're going to break this game out without knowing that information, but the bottom line is the Clippers are favored by 9.5. It's a 217 total, 104 implied for Detroit, which is really bad. We're lowest by far on the slate. 113 for the Clippers, not really great either, considering it's lower than either the Spurs or Kings in that game. And then we've got all this unknown. So ownership-wise, what are people doing here? That's the question. Well, I think people are confused, Crash, because
going lower. Yeah, it's going lower than the other games.
It is. And Zubats right now, number 1 on Draftkings for ownership from this game at 24%. He's been inconsistent as hell.
Right.
Bogdanovich, I know you go to him a lot. He's 22% at a fair $6,200 number. Sadiq Bey.
Jaden Ivey is the highest owned from this game.
Did I miss it? Yes, I did. Thank you, sir. Eyeballs going. 27%. And you know me with Jaden Ivey. He's been I haven't exactly hit him correctly. So I like his play. I like him with Cunningham out. he's getting big minutes, but as a rookie, you'd expect him to be extremely inconsistent. So other than Ivy, you got Zubats, Bogdanovich representing this game. And then you've got a trio of guys at about 16%. Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and the aforementioned Norman Powell at $4,200. I don't know how you get away from that. Even Deb's got it probably playing, don't you think?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. The guy I like at that price range, he's a little bit more than that, but that's Reggie Jackson, especially if Paul George is out. The revenge narrative, he's had really good success against him since he went to LA from Detroit.
Right.
I think that he's kind of due for a decent game. He hasn't really had one in feels like forever, but I think this might be a decent spot.
What about John Wall, though?
Yeah, you do have John Wall.
I mean, that muddies it up there a little bit because he's a usage guy when he's in there.
Right.
And if you notice the last game for the first time, they played the two of them together for some decent minutes, which really makes it a little bit more confusing. So,
yeah,
that's a tough one.
So for me, I like Jaden Ivey, the guards really, for Detroit filling in for Cunningham, Hayes and Ivy. And then I like Bogdanovich again. I mean, his price never changes. He's
right.
6,200 on Draftkings, 5,800 on Fanduel, and 18 on Yahoo. And he's pretty much consistently got 30 fantasy points. So if I'm getting 5,800, 30 fantasy points for that, or 18 on Yahoo, I don't have any problem dialing him up every night. And then, on the Clippers side, like I said, I do like Reggie Jackson. I like your guy, Marcus Morris, especially at 5,500 on Fanduel. It's a solid price. 6,300 on DraftKings. So
right,
a little bit pricey for me over there. And then you mentioned him, Norman Powell at 4,200. I mean, that's a pretty solid price. You almost have to go there. So
I don't understand why he's not getting more ownership than he is. That's at
scary.
That price.
Yeah.
I know it's risky and he's had some horrible games, but man, that seems like a lower risk at that number.
I'd rather play him than Terrence Davis. I'll tell you that.
Ooh, you got most people disagreeing with that one. That's for sure. But
yeah,
I mean, I get it. I'm with you and I agree. But I mean, we could have the opposite and all of a sudden Kawhi and George both play. Then it's a whole different ball game. Then I really don't want anybody because they're not going to play probably that much. It'll blow out. I mean, this game is nerve-wracking. Another reason why I want to just load the hell up on this Spurs-Kings game.
Yeah.
Because this game's going to be a stomachache. Some people are going to get their bubble burst in this game. I'm just saying. Here's another thing I thought was interesting, Crash. On FanDuel, Paul George is 9,400. So he is cheaper than he is on DraftKings, but he's 35% owned there. So double and a half the ownership than FanDuel. Does that make sense to you?
No.
I don't get it.
No.
Jaden Ivey getting good ownership percentage at 31% on there. And then, as you mentioned, Marcus Morris, 5,500 is too cheap. And people are getting it because he's 24%. Your man Bogdanovich at 23%. Yeah. John Wall, who I am considering very strongly, he's $6,000, 22% owned. You look at his usage when he's on the floor. There are spurts where he looks like the old John Wall, and he does have time frames. If he gets the minutes, I think can pay off that number. I really do. And then you got all those teens own guys that everybody's going to flirt with here. Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes. I get the Killian Hayes thing.
Yeah.
And then Bagley. What are we going to get out of Bagley? What if he gets 32 minutes tonight?
Yeah, but Bagley's price isn't like discount price. I mean,
5,700.
Yeah. I mean, it's decent, but
I mean, it's if he gets 30 minutes, I would take him at, if is the big question.
That's the big question. If, yeah,
it's a tough one. And then as far as Yahoo, real quickly, we've got Jaden Ivey getting a ton of ownership there.
Right.
And Paul George. Those two, 36 for Paul George %, Jaden Ivey 20. So for some reason, 28. Paul George not getting the love on DraftKings, but he is getting it on Fanduel and Yahoo. He is too cheap on Yahoo. 39 is surprising.
Yeah, it is.
That's low. The only other guys on Yahoo for big shout outs, Zubats, 22%. He gets owned a lot, man.
He does. He does get owned a lot.
Bogdanovich, 22%. Marcus Morris, 21%. And John Wall, 18% at $18. That guy, John Wall's just sticking in my head tonight for some reason.
Okay.
So avoid Kojo. I agree with that call, boy from Cali, by the way. Diallo, no. Powell's 5,200 on FanDuel as well. So interesting.
Do you like Wall most on DraftKings, or where do you like him the most?
I like him a little bit everywhere.
Okay.
I'm not saying a lock and load everywhere for me just because I love the guy, but I just, I think where he's a little higher priced than other sites, his ownership will be even lower.
Yeah.
I think he can be scary.
Might be a nice pivot too from Reggie Jackson, because I think with the revenge thing, I think that might get some ownership tonight.
Yeah. I mean, they could cancel each other out too. But like I said, the reason I have hope for both of those guys is they played alongside each other for some minutes.
True.
For the first time in the last game. If you don't use basketball-reference.com, you got to do it, man. I mean, free plug for them, because I go there, look at usage, look at advanced stats, look at who's on the court at the same time and what's going to happen with that. And it's a huge help, man. Doug L loves Zubats as his favorite center, and he likes Eubanks over Bagley. So, Doug, I don't know I may not be able to call you Doug W right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything negative because I love you. Okay. Doug L. Zoo is a lock, boy from Cali says.
Okay.
All right. I love all the opinions in here. Niles Simmons, man, you're late to the party, but it's never too late for a Coach Talk party. Couple of things real quick. If you're on YouTube right now, quick thumbs up, hit the alert button so you know when our podcast posts. You're going to want to know that because sometimes they're in front of the paywall, sometimes they're behind it. Hit the subscribe button so that you are tuned in to everything that we have Coach Talk wise. We'd love to have you join us, dfscoachtalk.com, as little as 9 stinking bananas, $9 for a full week of Deb and Steven, Crash, myself, all the major sports going. We would love to have you, man. Yes, Pirtle is interesting to both Crash and I, King of Smack. He will be in consideration, and I haven't played him in a while. I just love the game script for that game tonight. Niles is at work. This is work, man. You're doing double duty. You should be paid time and a half. So tell your boss I said double up the salary. Sumner and Watanabe for value pivot off of Davis. I mean, that's a dig. Either way, I don't like either guy, though. But it is a 3-game slate. You could get lucky on a GPP if you want to roll with those guys. Anything else in this game, Crash?
No, I just wanted to give out my Boom Fantasy plays real quick.
Okay, because we're going to also give away a ticket for tonight.
Okay. Do you want to do that first or do Boom Fantasy first?
Go ahead and do your Boom Fantasy.
Okay. Kevin Durant under 30.5 points.
Oh, get off KD for crying out loud.
Damian Lillard over 25.5 points.
I'm taking Aaron Rodgers under.
In the 19-degree winds and all that. Yeah.
I'm messing with you. We'll do that. We have that in less than an hour. And I'm going to join Crash and Steven just to give them a lot of business because I like to give them all kinds of trouble. I like the name Tyler Sappington, by the way. That is a great name. Winnington is, by the way. If you come in here, you're going to be Winnington for sure. All right, David. David wants a ticket. He's rooting for boy from Cali, and we all know why. We know. All right, I'm going to hit the button if you're ready. Crash, should I hit the button?
Go for it.
The winner of the ticket today is Jay Blazing. Jay is blazing hot because he's just won a ticket on either Fanduel or Draftkings. So what you need to do, Mr. J Blazing, go to Twitter at DFS Coach Talk is where you can find us. And what you want to do is DM me your PayPal email, and I'll fire that ticket for you. You only have 4 hours to use that ticket to get basketball lineup in.
Right.
So seems so bizarre. No doubt about it.
Surely does.
All right. Anything else? No Kids Hungry for any. We love that charity, and we're certainly supporting that for any last second super chats. Also, we'd love to have you join the family. Again, tomorrow, Deb and I will be in front of the paywall with a big, rousing Friday night slate. I put Deb in timeout if you missed it yesterday. So she's going to be giving me some serious business. No doubt about it. King of Smack. Let's see. I wish I could tell my boss I need time and a half. Yeah, give me his number. Just put it right in here and I'll call the guy. It's time for him to pay up because you're worth it, King of Smack. And whoever else it was that was working and on here. Anything else, Crash? Pay up, value, and fade. You want to do just a quick review of that?
Yeah, my pay up is Damian Lillard. My fade is Kevin Durant. Value is Reggie Jackson.
Okay, I like it. I've now come full circle, and my pay up is Kevin Durant.
Oh, no.
I started at about 25%, and now I'm up to like 85% KD. It just
so who's your fade? Fox or Sabonis?
No, my fade is Mr. Chalkiness, Terrence Davis.
Terrence Davis, yeah.
Just fade. Because of the chalkiness. I just think it's a major chase is what I think.
I do too.
My value play, and Deb's going to be upset with me. You know who I'm going to say? Norman Powell.
Norman. Yep.
It's only 4-2.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need, what do we need? 23 fantasy points?
Something like that, yeah.
And we can get by with 4-2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he should be able to do that. Now, that's, bets off if somehow George and Kawhi are in. But even with just one of them in, for sure. I'll tell you what, though, if they're both out, you got to jam in Norman Powell if they're both out.
So King of Smack said he wanted to get time and a half from his boss. And then he said, well, his boss is his wife. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you're in big trouble there then. So
good luck with that one.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You may get a reduction right there after that. So let's see. What else do we need? I told Couch, let's see, needs to get them. What else? Pay up Durant, Fox, Sabonis, fade is everyone else over 5K. All right. Style stepping up, giving out the winners tonight. Sabonis and Fox. I'm going to be Sabonis, Fox, and Durant. That's going to be my key group.
Wow. How are you going to do that?
I can do it. Okay. Norman Powell and a couple other cheap guys. So even though it's a 3-gamer, I'm going to be all out stars and scrubs today, people. David, let's see. Where's that button? Let me do it. Yes. David officially in timeout.
Oh, no.
For going with Crash instead of me and showing love to boy from Cali. He's brushing me off, so he's got a 5-minute break. Oh, man. All right. Any final words, Crash, before we
got like 45 minutes before we got to do our next podcast, so we better take some time to get some dinner.
Get some dinner, get that Green Bay Packers chalk ready, and you and I and Steven will be back at that time. So yes, Mr. Styles, $4,900 Barnes is a possibility. It is a good possibility. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't miss Deb and I tomorrow at 4:45 in front of the paywall. 2 brains are better than 1 lineup. And we'll get through all of that. And then Crash and I will hit it Saturday, same time. And some good slates this weekend, some good games. Enjoy the football early, enjoy the basketball late. And we hope you knock some stuff out of the park. Post us some winners, show us some love. Let us know when you cash. Just post it at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter so we can shout you out and show you some love. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. try Boom Fantasy if you're looking for some prop bets. The link is attached right here on our Discord for members and on YouTube and Twitter as well. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy it. And King of Smack says, nope, and you're on the couch. Sorry, my friend. I didn't realize your wife was the boss. Although aren't all wives bosses, Crash?
Yes.
I know yours is. I've heard it directly from her. So, all right, my friends. Thank you. Enjoy it. Good luck tonight. Appreciate all of you. And we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS and Boom Fantasy.